Our Nightmare Before Christmas 30th anniversary celebration included walking through many of our favorite scenes from the movie. For our Making Christmas pathway lined with wrapped gifts, we wanted to include some twisted toys, but not anything too disturbing or scary for our littlest guests. I had made the movie-accurate Jack-in-the-Box pumpkin 10 years ago, so of course I had saved him. I added some Christmas floral to a spare skull, then I used free credit card points to buy spooky plush toys like a bat, skeleton, sock monkey, and even official movie plush werewolf, vampire teddy, and Oogie Boogie. I even added white felt spiky teeth to a cheap, fluffy teddy bear, then Glenn wanted the teeth to be dripping blood of painted hot glue drips, which I thought went a bit too far. We found another animated creepy baby doll for sale this season, which was also breaking my own family-friendly rules, so I tucked her into a dark corner and only pointed her out to older guests who might appreciate her. We even got lucky acquiring a magician's spooky dollhouse that fit perfectly in the corner. I did make a couple more of our twisted toys completely from scratch. I hadn't yet carved much solid block foam with my heat tools, so the yellow duck pull toy and the black cat were good practice. I sketched the designs at size on the solid block faces, cut away front and sides, redrew as necessary, and kept cutting until I had decent shapes. I sanded a bit, but this was saved packing foam, which is even looser than the white pellet insulation foam, so my heat carving tool globbed the foam a few times, making deeper holes than expected, plus I made some mistake cuts. Thankfully, some spackle to the rescue, then sanding again, often with kitten supervision. A good base coat of masonry waterproofer. Then I had fun with the final paint colors, especially the shading. I could spot the superfans when they recognized these guys peeking out from the presents. And there's a bat and a snake. Glenn had a great idea of alphabet blocks saying boo, so I saved the big boxes from his newly installed shed cabinets and painted them classic wood block style in orange, white, and black. I knew these wouldn't last through rain, so I didn't worry about painting the wood sides and just hid box printing with other wrapped gifts. Boo! Of course, we needed lots of presents. We saved shipping boxes all year, then our first Halloween helper afternoon was wrapping empty boxes as gifts. I set up a large assortment of festive Halloween ribbons, wrapping paper, and even cheap disposable patterned tablecloths. I also cut oversized sponge stamps to decorate the boxes that were too large for any of the cute wrapping paper designs. Under canopies and trees for shade, 9 of us helped tape the boxes back together, wrapped them in various festive Halloween colors, and added bows and paint designs as needed. Lots of weird-shaped scraps even turned into some creative Sally-style patchwork packages. About 4 hours later, we had quite an impressive display already. We finished wrapping the rest of the gifts on another helper afternoon, then even had help arranging them after we got Snakey in position. My original canvas Snakey from 10 years ago was draped on the front porch, but Glenn's idea was for our flow around the house to follow Snakey's tail as it grew larger and larger, building suspense until you finally saw his head at the end of our gauntlet of gifts. I found yellow and black collapsible temporary exhaust tubing in various diameters, so we draped and tied the tubes over our sunroom, through the hedge, over the bay window and shed roof over the heads of our guests, then turning the corner, winding through all the presents, hiding the seams where we changed sizes, until he turned his head back toward you at the gate. I ran out of time to build a proper head, but thankfully the end of the largest tube had a plain unwired yellow section that folded perfectly into his pointy mouth shape. I cut a spare ball in half, quickly sprayed those with white and drew pen pupils, hot glued the eyes in place, and there was our ever-hungry Snakey, making everyone duck to avoid getting scarfed along with the tasty toys.
Oh, no. So you better watch out. He is hungry. He's always hungry.
You pushed me?
See, he's always hungry. See the bony finger pointing you this way?
The final touch was the Making Christmas scene from the movie showing in the bay window, setting the mood for all the twisted toys tucked in between all the presents. Even after all the other movie scenes and playing Oogie Boogie's games of chance, most people oohed and awed and sang along as they traveled this long hallway, so it was worth all the work. Sadly, the early November rains ruined about a third of our boxes, so I saved the ribbons before recycling the cardboard. The big boo blocks didn't even last until then, since they weren't reinforced around the bottom edges, so they were warping just in ambient moisture. For the presents that survived, I cut out bottom holes but leaving all corners reinforcing each other, and I tucked as many smaller boxes inside larger boxes as possible before storing in large clear trash bags. Thankfully, these all fit with our plethora of pumpkins in our basement crawl space for the next time we need our twisted toys.